So I kind of trained myself to sleep on my back.
I got an injury when I was like 12 playing football. I think my hips are like not aligned.
I took the bar back and then like crawled back to like my girlfriend's house. And then like, dude, I couldn't move for like days. Okay, we're in Montañita, and today I got to interview some different types of people who are suffering with back pain for different reasons. One guy had scoliosis, another guy, he hurt himself cliff diving, and another person was actually dealing with back pain for 8 years, even though he's only 20. And he told me he's ready to start taking his back pain recovery seriously. I hope these stories help to show you that back pain can come in many different forms. All right, let's get into it. When I saw you walking by, you're like, okay, I suffer from back pain. I was like, can I do an interview? You're like, yeah, sure. So you said my back hurts right now. Talk to me. What's going on?
Actually, I feel a lot of stiffness in my low back, even like my glutes, specifically on my right side. I have a lot of issues with the whole right side of my body.
Okay. And is this something that's new or you struggled with in the past?
No, it's been about 10 years of, I got an injury when I was like 12 playing football. I think my hips are like not aligned. And so kind of
everything gets out of balance.
Yeah.
So you've been struggling with it for 10 years? Off and on?
8 years.
8 years. Off and on. Like, so sometimes it gets worse, sometimes it's better, no?
Yeah, like every day I feel
really?
Like, yeah.
So what do you do to like get through the day? You're traveling a bunch now, so like obviously you wake up, you got to move around. Are you just pushing through the pain? What are you doing?
Yeah, I used to just neglect it and honestly like abuse cannabis. Since I've been to Ecuador, I've been doing yoga every day.
Okay.
And I've gone to chiropractors plenty of times as well, and it never made like a long-term
So when you go to the chiropractor, it feels good for a bit, but it never actually changes anything for the long term. What have you done that actually has helped? Like besides, you said stretching a little bit, being aware of it.
No, I don't think so.
Nothing?
No.
Do you think there's a connection between your emotional health, stress, and back pain?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So why would you say that? Have you had experiences with that?
I would say there's like a connection between emotional and physical, like entirely. Right? And so maybe it's like something that I'm not aware of.
So you feel that like holistically, just as a human, like everything's connected. And so if you're in maybe have some emotional blocks or some stress, that could be exacerbated in your back pain.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So have you had experiences where you've actually felt that before?
Not that I was aware of it.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Not with my back, I don't think.
Okay. The reason why I ask is like I have clients of mine, even myself, when they figured out like their back would get better from like training and movement and stuff, but then they would like have these flare-ups. I never really knew why. But when they started to work on their mind and just being more connected with their body, they were able to like stop the flare-ups from happening, because it was almost like this learned behavior. When they got stressed, their weakest link got attacked, and their back was always their weakest link. So even though they fixed it, it was still exacerbated in that way. So what you're saying makes sense, right? I've seen it many times. Yeah. Have you ever tried any unorthodox approaches? So like something like meditation or psychedelics. I know you said you were using cannabis for the pain. Anything else that like maybe is a bit unorthodox or strange to people like that's nuts?
As far as like treating my back?
Yeah, or anything. I don't know. Something else you want to share too?
No, nothing. I've definitely neglected my physical body.
Is that because like there's been exploration elsewhere, maybe in the mental space, and you've kind of just
100%.
Okay. So what's the plan moving forward? Is it now time to start to pay attention to the physical
body?
body?
Yeah, I'd spent a lot of time living in the mountains, chopping wood, carrying water, doing those sort of things. Now we're heading to the gym.
Okay. Oh, is that where you guys are headed to?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
I used to play football for like 12 years, and so I actually used to weigh 200 pounds.
No way.
I lost 40 pounds since.
Like was this muscle or just like you're like what position did you play?
I played defensive end.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm like eating 4 meals a day.
Yeah.
And so the past few years I've just been like doing a whole lot of cardio and shedding that, and not so much weightlifting.
Okay.
I think it'll be important for me to like find more of an alignment before I take that more seriously.
100%, brother. 100%. Yeah. Get the alignment right, and then after you can start to build strength around it. Yeah.
So we're getting there.
That's good. That's good. I'm happy you're going to the gym right now.
Yeah.
All right. So if you could say something to someone who's struggling with back pain right now, what would you say to them?
Feel it.
Okay.
I would say feel it.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, almost like just meditating, just taking, a couple minutes of mindfulness and awareness, and have that like pure intention of like, what is that? Right. Because you could go to the doctor 100 times and they can give you their solution, whatnot, but like the answer is going to be within.
Yeah.
Imagine.
I love that,
so
man.
Just feel it.
That's a great answer. Let's go, man. Go fix your back, bro. Come on.
Thanks,
this guy's been ignoring his back for too long, man. You gotta take care of that thing. We're out here in Montañita interviewing people about back pain. Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you a few questions? Have you been suffering with any pain? So I came up to you and I said, hey, you suffer from back pain, you're surfing, you're like, I have a bit of scoliosis.
Yeah.
So you said sometimes when you're not sleeping right, or you just get messed up and you're just laying like it gets bad.
Yeah.
You said you were telling me about how you sleep.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
So I found like generally the most comfortable positions, like on the stomach, one leg up, but that kind of messes with my back. So I kind of train myself to sleep on my back, put a pillow for lumbar support, and that kind of has worked for the most part. When it doesn't, just a lot of yoga.
Nice. Okay, so your sleep, you have to sleep. You don't do that. Eventually, it'll start like if you go side sleep.
I don't have to, but like it can. And it's not every time that I don't sleep like that, but sometimes it just does, and I try to avoid it.
So you said also you do a lot of yoga then?
Yeah.
So is that like a regular practice for you, or just when you feel tight, or just whenever it suits you?
When I feel tight, I'm not someone that's going to get up and do yoga every day. I don't know all the poses and stuff. I just know what feels good on my back, so I just get there and I try and stretch it out for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have like any stretches that you do regularly that just help you?
Yeah, so I don't know what it's called, but you're on your knees and you just like lay your head on the floor while you're on your knees and you just completely decompress. It stretches out the bottom of your back. And I'll just lay like that for a few minutes and then like downward dog and kind of the reverse of that.
Nice.
Just help stretch it out.
So you do those when your back's feeling a little bit tight?
Yeah.
What's the worst it's ever got?
Sometimes I'll get like random kind of spasms or some kind of muscle cramps. I don't know if that's related to the scoliosis or whatnot, but whenever it's acting up, I'll move in a certain way and my back will just tighten.
Oh, you'll feel like
I feel like an old man. I'm just like, too young for this.
And what happens? You have to like crawl around, or you getting up like?
Usually it goes away in like 10, 20 seconds, but I have to kind of sit there and like slowly move it back.
I got you.
Move it around for a minute, get it moving, and then I'm like, all right, I got to do something to fix it.
And that's when you'll do some of the stretches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How old are you?
21.
Okay, you're a young buck then.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, I think you're on the path of, hey, I got to take care of my back. Can I give you a piece of advice?
Yeah.
Take care of your back because you're young, and if you have issues now, like so I dealt with it for a long time, played basketball, would have issues like that where you're like, and then eventually it'll happen more often, and then eventually it like gets worse, but it like happens so slowly. Just take care of it, man. That's the big best piece of advice I can give you, but especially if you want to keep surfing and stuff. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you. What's your name? Dixon. Nice to meet you, Dixon. My name's Darcy. Darcy. Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me, kitties. Oh, that's back pain for sure. Look at that. Stretch it out. Doing that cat cow. Have any of you guys ever suffered with back pain before?
I mean, it's good. Usually, like if I'm back home and I'm working out, it's better. I've been traveling and like I think I lose the muscle and it's like I just do like this every day, you know?
Yeah. So you do that. So you do the twist. And you do that, and then that kind of takes care of it. So like at home, do you have a pretty regular workout routine?
Workout, yeah.
Yeah, like what type of training do you do?
Just weights.
Nice.
Cardio and swimming.
Nice. Oh, you swim as well?
Yeah.
Okay. How often? 5 days a week type thing?
When I'm truly at home, yeah. But I move around so much, man.
Constantly moving.
Yeah.
Nice. So like you found that those stretches really help just kind of loose up the muscle?
Yeah, the SI.
SI, yeah. Where do you feel the pain? Is it like just in that SI joint, or you get it like down the back?
It's like back here, but like I've thrown out my back like 3 times.
Really?
Like, and you can literally see it. It like sticks out.
Oh, really?
It'll be really sore.
So when you throw out your back, like what do you usually do to like get it good again? Like what's your
like the first time it happened, it was like I had COVID for like a week.
Yeah.
So I was laid up for a week, and then went to the gym. It was like finally I could go back. No, and I was like, I really want to squat because I like squatting.
Yeah.
Just went with the bar. First rep down, you know, so it's a warm up.
Yeah.
It's like an air squat. It's like 45 pounds.
Yeah.
Went down instantly. You could feel it. And it's like fuck. Like put the bar back and then like crawl back to like my girlfriend's house. And then like, dude, I couldn't move for like days. Like,
really? Were you doing like the crawling around on the ground type thing?
Like even getting out of bed was just like I was like an old man.
Yeah.
And then I did that same thing again, squatting once again, and then I've just thrown it out. I can't remember the other time, but it's been 3.
But when you do it though, like are you just kind of ride it out, wait till it gets better, and then eventually you can just get back to doing whatever you were doing before? Or is there anything else you do to meds? Like what do you chiropractor?
Yeah,
what
I
do you
did chiropractor.
Okay.
The second time when I was back in the US and I did it, I went to the chiropractor and like it did help. And then I guess when I lived in North Carolina, I did chiropractor too.
Any meds or anything like that?
No, I've never done meds.
No, you're not a meds guy?
Yeah,
that's good. That's what's up. And both times you hurt them was from squatting?
I mean, 2 out of the 3.
Okay.
I can't remember the third, man. I haven't thrown it out probably 2 years, maybe a year and a half.
Okay, I was gonna say knock on wood, man. Stay moving, right? I think that's probably the best advice here is like, because it sounds like when you stop moving and then you go back to movement.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. What was your name?
I'm Ryan.
Ryan? Darcy. Nice to meet you, Ryan. What was your name, brother?
Shelby.
Shelby?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys.
What do you usually recommend?
Well, it really depends, bro. Like stretching is nice. A lot of times with like SI joint issues, it's like instability. So like when you're thinking about your core, like so for example, like you see how you're sitting right now, you're in that like rounded state, and then like there's a lot of pressure in that area, right? So like you're like, oh, let me adjust it. We've all felt that tightness in our back. Imagine you sit for a long period of time, and all the muscles that are like stabilizing in the back, in the core, in your hips as well, they kind of like they get a little atrophied, right? They get a little tired. And if they're weak and all, when you go back to doing these movements, they're not used to it. And typically when you lay around or you sit around, you think about the position of your body. And now you're gonna go do a squat or run or play a sport, and that's when you get the issues show up. So I always tell people, make sure before you go back to doing squats or anything, really focus on like foundational stuff. So like you've probably seen people do these at the gym, doing it on the mats, or doing like glute bridges and stuff, and like side planks and things like that. Those movements will save you all the hassle of like having that happen. So like if you, like say even just right now, you're like, oh man, I don't know what to do, I don't have the gym, do some glute bridges, do some side planks. If you know the bird dog's the one like doing yoga where they're like on their hands and knees and they're lifting one arm opposite leg. You do that one. The dead bug is like the reverse of it, where you're laying on your back and you go opposite hand, opposite leg. These are really foundational movements, but they'll save you from having this issue happen, especially with your SI joint. It's really, it can be a finicky thing, and once it turns into a situation like yours where when you don't move, it's typically just because it's lacking like some stability. So the more you move, the more fluid it is, and it's like healthy. But then when you don't move, it kind of like gets jammed up in that bad position, and then you go move, and then you get the issue. So I always tell people, man, just like be preemptive with the stuff. A recommendation would literally be a bird dog, a side plank, a glute bridge, and a dead bug. You do a series of those, like a superset, two, 3 sets of those, and then you can go do everything. Yeah, man. So give it a try. Nice. Yeah, look them up. Bird dog, side plank, glute bridge, dead bug. Best thing you can do for your back is take care of it before it gets hurt. All right, fellas. I won't bother you. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, no worries.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Take care of that. Glute bridge, bird dog, dead bug, side plank. Okay, I got some action steps for you to take. So if you want my free back pain course, what I want you to do is go down in the comments right now and click the link. You'll see free course. Now, if you want to talk about actually working with me closer, you can click the link below and we can look at setting up a call and seeing if you're a good fit for the program. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe so that I know to do more of these. All right, I'm out.